Back on NewsViews with State Treasurer Alexi Giannoulias, I'm Andy Shaw. We're going to show you a picture that a lot of people would like to have in their portfolio because this guy has got the magic touch. At least he helped Alexi win the treasurer's race a couple years ago. And I know from experience, I've seen you on the road in virtually every primary state. You've assured me you're doing it on your own time and not on state time. Let me ask you, what is your best sense of how this comes out at the end of the day? He leads in all the key categories, but the Clintons keep saying he can't win and they'll prevail at the end of the day.
Well, I think all the evidence is to the contrary. And he's run an extraordinary campaign. He's raised more money. He's won more delegates. He's won more states. He's up in the popular vote. So I think, you know, even the Clinton campaign has acknowledged that it is very, very, very difficult mathematically for them to win the nomination.
I get to use my alliteration here. You're Barack's basketball buddy. I know you met playing basketball. A lot of our viewers may not know that you were a professional player in Europe and a star in college. And you've made no secret of your admiration for his unifying way, the theme of bringing people together. And you've gone so far as to dub our current Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich as the anti-Obama because, as you see it, his version of government is to divide rather than unify. And you believe that. You believe that firmly?
Well, I just think we are at a crossroads politically in Illinois more than we ever have been. We have, you know, what's going on in the last few weeks and months gives us an excellent opportunity to juxtapose the hopefulness and excitement of electing the first Illinoisan since Abraham Lincoln to the White House with the cesspool of scandal, corruption, pay-to-play that's being played out in the current political trial, and the fact that things aren't getting done in Springfield. So there has been a lack of leadership. And so we're basically headed one of two ways. Are we going to embrace the politics of hope and principled leadership where we bring people together, where we use the power of government to make people's lives, ordinary people's lives, better? Or are we going to continue on the path of scandal, corruption, people in Illinois who are have mistrust for their elected officials, people don't believe in them, there's voter apathy.
But the governor would argue that he represents the politics of hope and that he has tried for 5 years in education and health care and open tolling to do the right thing for people, but he is facing Madigan and others who don't want him to succeed because they're the old guard. Well, do you see any of that playing out, or do you blame the governor?
No, listen, it's not easy being governor. That being said, the buck stops here, and you have to have, being a good leader means bringing people together. And I'm not saying it's been easy, but to me it seems last year, for example, the budget was more about retaliation than good government. So we need people in there who can find ways to bring people together, to bring the old guard to the new guard. At the end of the day, though, we need some fresh leadership in the state of Illinois. We need people in office who are intelligent, who are capable, who are going to bring new ideas to the table, and who are going to make people feel good about the future instead of people like, you know, the village of Palatine, which is looking to leave Cook County. I mean,
conventional wisdom in our trade has you running for governor in a couple of years. Good possibility, no possibility, or do I get the stock answer, you love your current job and you're not looking any further?
It's not a stock answer. I do love my job. Being state treasurer is the greatest job in state government, and I think right now I best serve the people of Illinois as their state treasurer. I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to get to work. We brought a passionate, capable, intelligent group of people to the office, and we are professionalizing. We are finding ways to cut waste, to get rid of what we don't need in that office, and still provide services like financial literacy, and to make the most proactive state treasurer's office in the United States, and we're very proud of it.
And the two college scholarship programs, the General Bright Star and the one for vets, are things that must be near and dear to you because they really meet people where they're really hurting ability to pay for college.
Are you seeing the cost of college skyrocketing, Andy?
I think it's 50% in 4 years.
It's horrendous. And to me, we're the richest country in the world. If there is a child, if there's a high school boy or girl who wants to go to college, we should make sure that they go to whatever school they want. And anything we can do to help, whether it's scholarships or finding ways to help them financially, I think that's our job as public officials.
Were you saying that you're not going to run for governor in 2 years, or that you just like your day job now? You're not taking the bite.
I didn't say I like it. I said I love my job, and I mean it. You know, that's the reason I got involved in public service, because I believe that we can take Illinois a new direction. That if we get people who are intelligent and can bring principled leadership to state government, we can get people more involved. And you're seeing it again on Barack's campaign. He's got more people involved than ever have been, young people who are voting for the first time, and there's sort of a movement. And at the risk of sounding too idealistic, idealistic. It's something that I get excited about, and it's nice to have people believe again and look forward to the future.
Well, you're only 32. You're allowed to be idealistic. I'm the one that needs to be jaded. I have one last question, since you mentioned we end up on the presidential race. Any possibility of an Obama-Clinton ticket, or do you think that the bitterness and acrimony and the swords have been too sharp and too nasty to make that possible?
Well, I'm not a political expert. You know a lot more about politics.
But you've talked to Barack more than I have.
I don't know, and this is just my opinion, politically, how much she offers. I mean, I think we're going to win New York anyway. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this country's ready for a female and an African-American. I think most likely the campaign's going to look for someone who's got some gray hair, someone who's got some foreign policy
That would
experience.
speak against Richardson, too, I guess, as a Latino.
Richardson, you know, he's a very intelligent guy with a tremendous amount of experience, so you just don't know. I think it'd be someone who can deliver a key state. Obviously, politically, you have to look at what will make sure he gets in office, and someone who can kind of counteract his youthfulness.
Alexi Giannoulias, the state treasurer, our guest on NewsViews. This has been NewsViews on a Sunday morning. I'm Andy Shaw. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now let's go back to the news desk.